It's no secret that big tobacco companies use deceptive marketing tactics to target vulnerable communities. From strategically putting cigarettes on sale to putting them in cartoons, big tobacco has done some really shady stuff. But there is one tactic that's just so subtle and also very harmful. It's flavoring. Hey guys, my name is Tamara and you're watching the first episode of my 3-part series in Truth Be Told. As an ambassador, I'm working to help expose big tobacco and e-cigarette companies for their shady marketing tactics. While my goal is to inform you of how you may be getting targeted, my purpose here is not to tell you how to live your life. It's to give you the truth and let you decide for yourself. So let's jump right into it. Today, I'm going to go over some of the mischievous ways big tobacco and e-cigarette companies target vulnerable communities. Spoiler alert, you might be one of them. So let's start with flavors. Historically, big tobacco companies have used flavors to mask the dangers of tobacco products. That's why it's not surprising that 81% of youth who use a tobacco product started with one that's flavored. And those same youth had a significantly higher prevalence of current tobacco use. So let's just break that down a little bit. That means that flavored products are attracting young users like me and you and resulting in us regularly using tobacco products. In fact, research shows that flavoring is one of the main reasons why we choose to use tobacco in the first place. I mean, come on, who doesn't like candy flavors? So aside from the obvious issues with this, more teens using tobacco products, research shows that young adults perceive flavored products as being less harmful than non-flavored products, even though that's not true. But whatever this disconnect may be, the bottom line is that flavoring is literally deceiving us. And if you're not sure how big tobacco companies use flavors to attract us, in the past they paid more money to put their products on store countertops, just because they know we're more likely to impulsively buy it. And they even use kid-friendly flavors and they drop limited edition flavors. Look, the only thing I need dropping right now is Rihanna's new album. Love you, Riri. But if that's not enough, this whole flavor thing gets a little bit more interesting when we add e-cigarettes into the conversation. If you haven't heard of an e-cigarette, it's a device commonly known as a vape pen that produces an aerosol for the user to inhale. While the flavoring and ingredients used in e-liquids have been approved by the FDA for oral consumption, it hasn't been approved for inhalation, simply because there's not enough research done to say whether or not it's actually safe. So the issue with e-cigarettes is that although they aren't as harmful as traditional cigarettes, they typically contain the addictive ingredient nicotine and a bunch of other chemical compounds that have been known to cause adverse effects. Not to mention, a lot of us don't actually know what we're inhaling when we use e-cigarettes. A recent study found that 99% of the e-cigarettes sold at convenience stores had nicotine in them, but 60% of teens incorrectly reported e-cigarettes as mostly containing flavors. Yeah, we think that what we're inhaling is mostly bubble gum drop and not nicotine and other harmful chemicals. And as much as I emphasize how much this affects young people, tobacco products and flavors also affect many marginalized communities, including those in low-income neighborhoods, racial and ethnic minorities, LGBTQ+ individuals, and those with mental health illnesses. Some of the things that they do to target those communities include sponsoring cultural events, sending direct mail ad promotions, and putting ads in the newspapers and magazines that they mostly read. Okay, I know what you're thinking right now. Well, tobacco use is a choice, and those communities don't have to use them. And yeah, sure, while we don't have to use them, it's not necessarily a choice. Research shows that in cities like DC, there's up to 10 times more tobacco ads and retailers in predominantly Black neighborhoods than in any other neighborhood. And the same goes for Hispanic and Latinx neighborhoods that not only have more businesses selling tobacco products, but they're also more likely to sell to underage consumers. Yeah, you hate to see it, right? So tobacco and e-cigarette companies are really pushing for us to notice that. And when you're perhaps lower income, mentally ill, or just young, it's really easy to fall into their trap. There's so many alternatives to tobacco products popping up, but those alternatives aren't safe. But truth be told, big tobacco and e-cigarette companies don't care. If young people continue to smoke cigarettes at the rate that we are, about 5.6 million of today's youth are going to die early from a smoking-related disease. That's about 1 in 13 youth. That could be your friend, your family member, or even a classmate. So let's start having these conversations. And let's start spreading the truth.